The Rookie's worst character from Season 7 needs to come back in Season 8 for Nolan's best story yet. Patrick Kelleher debuted in Season 7 of The Rookie as Seth Ridley, one of the new police recruits, fresh out of the academy. Throughout Season 7, it appeared that Ridley was harboring a dark secret. He told conflicting stories that didn't line up, something that his training officer, Lucy Chen, caught on to and found suspicious. Eventually, the truth was revealed that Seth is a pathological liar who constantly uses false statements to get out of trouble. It started in his youth, later continued into his adulthood, and became habitual. Seth then became one of the most hated characters of the season, and perhaps the show's entire history. However, despite all the trouble Seth caused, his last episode left a glimmer of hope. Seth Ridley's latest appearance in The Return should not be the character's last. Seth must make a comeback in Season 8 to bring his redemption arc full circle. Seth Ridley was critically wounded while committing a heroic act. Throughout Season 7, it appeared that Seth was not cut out to be a cop. He constantly lied to get out of trouble with Lucy. During Seth's first day on the job, he gets sick at the sight of a dead body and vomits all over the victim's vehicle, contaminating the crime scene. Later, he lies to Lieutenant Wade Gray about his cancer coming back to avoid being cut from the Los Angeles Police Department rookie program. Lucy later exposes Seth using a fraudulent doctor to help him fake the cancer diagnosis, which promptly gets Seth expelled from the LAPD. Then, Seth files a lawsuit to force the city to allow him back into the LAPD. Not only that, he continues his lies about his cancer when he starts dating Lucy's dear friend, Tamara Collins. John Nolan is reluctantly tasked with becoming Seth's new training officer in The Return. John's wife, Bailey Noon, likely puts it best in the episode, stating that Seth is a sociopath. Seth's lies and incompetence cast the character in a rather despicable light. During Wildfire, his mistakes endanger the lives of Tim Bradford and Lucy, causing them to be stranded in the middle of a dangerous wildfire. However, for all of Seth's grievous errors, he somewhat redeems himself in his final appearance. During a shootout with a group of dangerous criminals, Seth follows John's orders to the letter. Unfortunately, a perpetrator with a shotgun sneaks up on Nolan. Seth opens fire on the shooter and hits him, but the gunman turns and shoots Seth in the leg in retaliation. Seth took the shotgun blast meant for John, likely saving his life. Call it karma or poetic justice, but the damage from the gunshot wound is so severe that Seth's entire lower leg has to be amputated. For all of Seth's misdeeds, his last act as a police officer stands out as an admirably heroic and noble deed, but his body pays the price. The Return works well as a way to conclude Seth Ridley's overall storyline and write him out of The Rookie, but it simultaneously opens the door for a potential redemption arc. Lieutenant Gray reveals that Seth's injury makes him eligible for disability, but at the hospital, Nolan tells Seth that he could continue as a police officer, stating, "Your career's only over if you want it to be." In real life, amputees are allowed to become or continue serving as police officers, so the goal is still achievable for Seth. It's John who encourages Seth to continue in law enforcement, seeing the good that Seth did in saving his life. John even points out that such an act would buy Seth goodwill within the LAPD that he could put to good use in resuming his career. Although Seth lost his leg, his talk with Nolan had a profound effect on him, so the character needs to come back in Season 8 to bring John's words to fruition. Was losing his leg the wake-up call that Seth needed to cure his pathological lying disorder? Can he achieve his goal of becoming a police officer despite being an amputee? These are compelling ideas that Season 8 should answer. Seth has the potential to undergo a massive redemptive arc that could completely reverse how fans feel about his character. Some viewers already feel sorry about Seth losing his leg, so the potential for the audience is there. Seth's return simply must show the character taking John's advice to heart and making up for his mistakes. This could become Nolan's best story yet. This story excels in showcasing John's strengths as a training officer. Initially, John thinks very little of Seth, but Seth's valiant act sparks John's abilities as a good mentor. John's talk with Seth reflects John's overall life experience, as well as John's experience as a father. Seth is probably around the same age as John's son Henry, and when he hits rock bottom, John provides Seth with some much-needed advice and encouragement rather than kicking the young man while he's down. It appears to work because Seth finally comes clean to Tamara, who also dumps him. If Seth continues his story in Season 8, viewers will witness an amazing underdog storyline, seeing Seth work as a cop with his amputated leg while simultaneously enhancing Nolan's overall character arc. Think about how Nolan started as the LAPD's oldest rookie in the first season. Now, he is a training officer for young recruits. Nolan molding Seth into a legitimate, honest police officer would stand out as Nolan's greatest achievement in the show's history. In addition, it brings Nolan's character arc full circle, a great angle for the rookie to pursue. It remains to be seen whether Seth returns to the series in Season 8. Hopefully, the writers will consider a return for Seth and give the character a shot at achieving some redemption. All 7 seasons of The Rookie are available to stream now on Hulu in the US. Thanks for watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button for more update news.